Hello, hello! Who's ready for the Grand Prix final? Chaotic Man. Last video when I mentioned I wanted a couple people to maybe withdraw from the men's event, I was not specifically thinking of Adam, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy that he is withdrawing. I do not support athletes competing on an injury, especially when the competition is not even that important. You're still a European champion, a world medalist. No need to make your injury worse in a Grand Prix final. And do not get me wrong, I love the Grand Prix season. Even more so than Worlds, if I'm being very honest. But anyway, Adam is out, Shaidorov is in. I just want another person to withdraw. I just want two specific people to withdraw, so maybe we can have Targashev. That would be very funny. Let's actually get started with the qualifiers, shall we? In 6th place and replacing Adam Sahinfa, and a combined total of 508 points, Mikhail Shaidorov. A win for small fats. First time a Kazakhstan skater qualifies to the Grand Prix final. Explosive, dynamic, a jumper. His biggest strength though, his consistency. And that's saying something in the men's field. Greatest weakness? His components. He's not very big on interpretation. And at times he skates over the music. Therefore, he needs to heavily rely on his jumping quality, which I would say is as good as Ilia Malinin's. In 5th place, and a combined score of 523 points, the man who forgot his doping tests, Daniel Grassel. Strengths? The judges. The Italian Federation loves him, the judges love him. As long as he goes clean, he has a chance. Weaknesses? His wonky technique. He has incredible flexibility, which he only seems to control in his spins, meaning his flexibility is both a blessing and a curse. Next on the list is the man I protect my coaches even though they did something bad, Kevin Amos. With 2 silvers and the 3rd highest combined score, realistically, Kevin is aiming to get on that podium. Strengths? His components. Despite my dislike for him, it's undeniable that his programs are always very fun, very creative as well. They set the tone and they set him apart. Weaknesses? His inconsistency. Quite the opposite to Shaidorov, his jumping technique is not great. Last year, he gave up on one too many program, which gave him the moniker of 0A King. Coming in next, first time Grand Prix winning, Shun Sato. Shun has something to prove this season. Earning a medal at this Grand Prix final would almost guarantee him a spot in the world's team. Strengths? Jumping technique. His jumping technique is quite solid, which has allowed him to become a more consistent skater. Weaknesses? Step sequences. Gorgeous lines and great jumps make you forget about step sequences. So far this season, he hasn't been able to obtain a level 4, which might be the difference between a podium and a 4th place. Coming up behind him or in front of him, Silver Prince, Yuma Kagiyama. Coming up after a very messy Finlandia trophy, Yuma Kagiyama is hungry to prove this was a fluke. Strengths? Full package. The cleanest technique you will see in jumping passes. His constantly impressive quadruple salto, in collaboration with Carolina Kostner to improve his skating skills, makes him a clear frontrunner for this title. Weaknesses? The judges. The judges love to inflate PCS in other skaters. While Yuma is not the most charismatic skater, his quality is undeniable. So, unless the judges wake up one day with pinpoint accuracy for PCS, he's gonna come second, I'm afraid. Second after whom? Ilia Malinin. His best score is by far the highest. His best scores clears Yuma's by almost 30 points. And I'm not talking about the combined one. This is his title to lose. Strengths? There's a very good reason why he's called the Quad God. Much like Shaidorov, his consistency in his jumping is impressive. At the time of recording this, he has not announced whether he will include a quad axel this time, or if he's saving it for Worlds. He has a world record, and bonus points when you achieve world champion status. Weaknesses? Skating skills. He's quite the opposite to Yuma Kagiyama in this regard. Yuma Kagiyama has the best knees. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Regardless, he has the best knees, only comparable to those of Hanyan, and holds the most beautiful lines you will ever see. Ilia Malinin is very sloppy, he doesn't have a great running edge, nor the best control on his blades. His lines in particular are very sloppy, yet he manages to close his programs in a very energetic way, with some tricks like the raspberry twist or the backflip now. He wins over the audience. If I were to bet, Ilia Malinin will be first, Yuma Kagiyama second, and Shinsato third. But knowing men, I can almost bet an arm that Shidorov will find a way to get in that podium. Don't ask me how I know, I just know it will happen. For pairs, I just feel like it's gonna be a very messy event. Pairs have had a very slow start, and none of my favorites actually qualified. So it'll be a hit or miss. Barely making it, Elikam and Danyosha, they will be the US champions this year. Strenghts, very good chemistry with each other. They match each other very well, skate very much in sync, which makes them very pleasing to watch. Weaknesses? Throw jumps. I have never seen them land a clean throw. I don't know if he throws her too hard or she takes too long to check out of her jump, but they rarely land it. Like I said, that 6th spot was there for the taking and no one stepped up besides them. In 5th place, Anastasia Metelkina and Luca Verulava. I've said this before and I'll continue to say it. I hate how he mistreated his previous partner and how badly he spoke of her, so I will never actively root for this guy. Strengths? Consistency. They are one of the most consistently good pair skaters out there. Like everyone, they do make mistakes, but their pair elements are fantastic. Weaknesses? Their free skate. They have one of the best short programs in pairs this season, but their free skate is very myth. It's very forgettable and doesn't really show their strength in pair elements. The 4th pair to qualify, Sara Conti and Niccolo Macci, our messy relationship Italians. They are back in form. With Lucrezia and Matteo out of the Grand Prix, they just needed to be consistent to be number 1 pair in Italy. Strengths? Pair elements. For a pair that just started doing a triple twist 2 seasons ago, it's as if they've been doing it forever. Their death spiral is very good. Their throws have also been very consistent. Weaknesses? Their packaging. They are young and they are funny. Why are they still stuck in these boring, melancholic programs? I have no idea. Other Italian pairs are more creative in their programs, but Conti and Macci's programs are so uninspired. I like Carmen, but still the fire is missing. I would expect a million more transitions and interesting choreo movements from an Italian pair. They have the 3rd highest combined score though. Coming for that podium with the 2nd highest combined score, Minerva Favenhase and Nikita Volodin. They were last season's revelation and they continue to ride that wave. Strengths? Their lifts. They are one of the few pairs that when you see their lifts, they wow you. I find it impossible not to admire them every single time. Weaknesses? Random mistakes. They skate so well and they are so consistent that sometimes there's just an ant that trips them up, I swear. In 2nd, but with the highest combined score, Miura Kihara. The Japanese are really coming from that team's medal. They might not be coming in as world reigning champions, but they won that title back, thank you very much. Strength? Skating skills. It's impossible to unsee how slow the rest of the field compares to them. Again, they skate so big. Even their throws are big. Weaknesses? Side-by-sides, the bane of pair skating. Whoever does not mess up their side-by-sides is most likely medaling here. Unless I make mistakes, Rikuryuchi should win this. And having won 2 events, Deanna Stellato and Maxime Duchamp. They have the 4th combined score and just decimals away from 5th. They didn't start very strong. They have also stated that they are not looking to repeat their championship, hence the lack of hunger. But that's not to say that they are not competitive because they want to win. Strengths? Interpretation. They are one of those few pairs that really sell their program, who are very expressive. There's this fierceness that they have. It just makes you root for them. Weaknesses? Side-by-side jumps, like most of this field. It's not uncommon for them to do a 3-turn or fall or double it. It has been their Achilles heel. They have made a lot of mistakes so far, I understand they are trying to pace themselves for Worlds. It is that exact same reason why I don't think they're gonna medal, or if they are medaling, it's because someone else made a big mistake and they went clean. What will make pairs interesting is the variety of nationalities that we have this year. Is this the first time we have 6 different countries qualifying? To our favorite discipline, women. Coming in last place but with 2 silvers, and the 4th highest score, Rino Matsuke. Rino is the epitome of figure skating at the moment. A medal here would make a very strong case for making the world team, and making the world team sets a precedent for our Olympic season. Strengths, skating skills. The edge control that she has is outwardly. If you've never gone, in the middle of Rino's program, you are a psychopath. Weaknesses? Her short program. Last season, it was this same program that set her apart from everybody else due to her amazing transitions, especially out of her axel. But this year, she has not managed to be consistent with her short. She has not skated one clean short this Grand Prix season. A higher power decided that she needed a weakness this season, and the short program is a weakness. Coming in hot in 5th place, Moneshiba? I know what you're thinking, because I thought so too. She's got 2 silvers, but the 3rd highest combined score. Her short program is the most charming and the most dynamic I've seen all season, and her performance matches that quality. Strengths? Full package. Ever since I first saw her, I've been in awe of her skating skills. She skates so big, her jumps are also getting better, plus she's coached by the devil herself, but well, what can we do about that? Weaknesses? I genuinely cannot think of one. I think that says something, right? Her free skate is very generic. What a weakness to have. Oh, I know. She has a flux. But is it really a weakness if the judges never call it? The 3rd of our Japanese women here, tied with Rino in combined score, Hana Yoshida. She's the only skater with a bronze medal here, and coming with a lot of inconsistencies this season. The increasing quality in Japanese skating has put her in a very dangerous position. Not being able to land a clean triple axel will make her drop a couple spots. Strengths? Musical choice. Kudos to her and her choreographer for always choosing bold music. They are always trying to create a new concept, outside the norm, which many of us appreciate. Weaknesses? She's just good. I'm afraid she doesn't have the je ne sais quoi. She doesn't have Rino's magical edges, nor the full package and story of Moneshiba, the speed or consistency of Kaori Sakamoto, not even a strong fan base like Wakaba. And don't get me wrong, she's a very good skater, but in a field of excellency, you need someone to set you apart. You cannot rely on music alone, and if the triple axel is there, I'm afraid Hana Yoshida has the most to lose of them all. In 3rd place, the return of the queen, Wakaba Higuchi. Her win at Skate America really set the tune of her season. Although she has the lowest combined score of them all, we cannot count her out. Strengths? Musicality. Music just emanates from Wakaba Higuchi. And I mean that metaphorically and literally. Very often you will see her singing while she's skating her step sequence, and she just gives her everything to the public in the last moments of that program. Weaknesses? The judges. Very often they lowball her component score, which hinders her possibility to medal. Anyway, making the Grand Prix final for the first time since 2016, it's an impressive feat on its own. 2nd place, and the only non-Japanese skater, Demon Slayer, Amber Glenn. Whatever she did in the off-season, she needs to continue doing it. Her history of falling apart mid-program is that. History. A couple of weeks ago, she even made the top 10 best short program scores of all time, which was then stolen by Kaori next week. But she still made the top 10. If she medals here, she will for sure be a world's medalist. Strengths? Her very consistent triple axel. If someone had told us this 2 years ago, I'm sure nobody would have believed it. She's got one of the highest scores ever, and she's finally found herself. Weaknesses? Her inconsistency. I am pretty sure we are over that phase of hers, but it's still very common to see her make a mistake on one of the jumping passes, either in the short or in the free, That would put her out of the podium if everyone was clean. And number 1, 3-time world champion, Kaori, Ray of Sunshine, Sakamoto. I love this woman so much, you have no idea. She's the reason why I started to follow figure skating. She's a world champion and an Olympic medalist for a reason. It's indisputable why she's the number 1 woman in Japan. Strengths? Her speed. No one can generate such speed with the easiness that she does. Her skating skills are remarkable. That also helps her jumps look even bigger with this long and controlled running edge. Her consistency also puts her aside. Plus, she's charismatic and lovable. And she gets some bonus points for being world champion. We love her in this house. Weaknesses? Reconstruction of her jumping technique. As we all know, she has a flux, but we've seen she's trying to fix that. Problem is, it's coming at the cost of her flip. She's becoming a little bit inconsistent with her flip. This season she's got the hardest programs she's ever had. She has to work double as hard. Her programs this year are not everyone's cup of tea, and while I personally believe that the tango is missing a little bit of fire, her free is growing on me. She's having fun, the audience is having fun, the music is fun. It's just something in the first part that needs more attention. Honestly, every podium combination sounds great. If they go clean, the podium should be Kaori and Vermone. But I see a world with Kaori, Mone, and Rino there. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe, and I will see you after the Grand Prix final. Bye! I just finished with my video. But I'm getting Rebecca and Filippo Borsini. Yay for me! For real this time. Bye!